to the 11th episode of Sunday Talk About. What a night last night. We just, I don't know if you can see the river behind me, but we had unbelievable torrential rains. We've never seen the river this high in the whole time that we've been here. It's a beautiful sight, powerful, incredibly powerful. But here we are, and we want to get into the show. First thing I want to talk about is last week's episode was about Closer to Your Heart, which we had some technical issues with, we talked about, and that, that was a problem, and then I ended up deleting it because I was in lack of space. I needed to find the space to keep things moving, and I ended up deleting it by mistake. But nevertheless, here we are. So, Closer to Your Heart. It was a song that we recorded back in 2004, 2005. It was a song that we did with Jim Weeder, who was the producer and the guitar player, the effectual guitar player. I played the resonator guitar. Linda, of course, played her acoustic, beautiful finger picking that she does through the song, and she sings the main vocal and I do backup vocals on it. So it was a really interesting song. When I first heard it, I didn't really understand the background to why she actually wrote it, but it touched me in a certain way that really made me think about, it just gave me a feeling. It reminded me of when I was young and like a young adult, when things were firsts. It was all first and fresh. And so it had a good vibe to me. It just made me feel, it brought me back to that kind of feeling and focus. And you're going to see hummingbirds flipping all over around here. But yeah, it was just it really affected me in a very special way. And it wasn't until years later that I actually got to really understand the reasoning behind Linda writing the song and why she wrote it and how she wrote it. But shortly after, she went through some serious trauma, and she was just seeing people driving down the road. She just began thinking of the song and the melody and the lyrics, and she put together this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful song. So anyway, I was hoping she'd be a part of it today, but she's not going to do that. So we're on our own. Okay, so the recording part of it was just fantastic. We were, it was part of the Move On sessions that we did, the recording that we did with all of Linda's material, and the guys, once again, they just really amazing. They just really shine through when the recording. And as with the next song, the song that we premiered last night, called Cry of Love, they also performed on that song. Jim and Dan McKinney produced that as well. It's cool. I hope you all had a chance to see it, follow it to the end and see the message in it. When I wrote it at the time, this was back in, I wrote Cry of Love back in 2005, just before we actually recorded it. It was after going through a time that I spent out west, going through the Black Hills at the Indian Reservation, the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation there, and went to Wounded Knee and did a lot of research on that experience, that what happened there, and ended up going through the Black Hills and then up to North Dakota, near the Canadian border, with a Blackfoot friend of mine that took me to some amazing teepee circles that he told me that no white man had ever even seen them. So I felt very honored to be there and to see them and to sit actually inside of the circle. And look, it was fantastic about this experience. Literally, there were circles, like teepee circles, all around me. And I could sit in a circle, and I would look out over the immense valley and prairie, and I could just imagine herds of buffalo running, and just remarkable. But it was actually on the top of a hill, and the water was below, so they would have to travel down there to bring the water up. But they had their circles, and they'd migrate, so they'd go up to Canada in the summertime, further south during the winters, even though the winters in South Dakota are pretty brutal, really, too. But I just can imagine what they must be like living in a teepee in the middle of winter up in Alberta or somewhere like that. So it was an extraordinary experience, and it motivated me to write this song called Cry of Love, and thinking about how our society has just moved into this Babylonian perspective of culture and how we treat ourselves and treat each other, and thinking about alternative ways to live. And so that's what inspired the visuals behind the film, connecting it with our creator. And so I encourage you to watch it. I think you'll get a lot out of it. So, tell you the truth, I know I played this on it, but I haven't even, flashing lights, too many noises. Where do the children sleep? What are the choices growing up in the streets of Babylon? Waiting for the cry of love to call. Anyway, that's the song. Basically, that's the first time I played it probably since I recorded it. So that's why there's a few figure me out parts. but yeah, powerful song. I really honor being able to have been the recipient of the song and the meaning and the message. And I hope that it blessed you today. I hope that whatever we're doing here at Rockin Road, I hope it really blesses you guys. And I hope that there's a lot of exciting stuff coming up. I've actually been working intensely lately. The films I'm building right now has to do with what I'm calling the Southern Roots series. And it's a remarkable storyline that is going to encompass probably 6, 7 maybe different films that's relative to the music that's in the Southern Roots album that I made. On that album, Randy's on that album, and Mike Kemp is on that album. Johnny Sansone playing harmonica, incredible. He played with Dr. John. He's great. He's out there. I mean, he's playing all the time. It's his life, and great harmonica player. So he's on that record, and it's something that when it comes up, when the series comes up, it's going to be very interesting to see a real history timeline, a real historic timeline. And it is my family, a historic timeline from before the Civil War, through the Civil War, after the Civil War, and even a song that I wrote about my dad who married my mother in Philadelphia and then never went back to Georgia again, and that story's in this series. So anyway, that's coming up, and thanks again for joining today and being a part of a Sunday Talk About. We'll see you. Oh, please don't forget to subscribe and comment. And I'm still waiting for you guys to say something. I have a good friend, Owen. Hats out to Owen, and thanks to Owen. He lives down in Texas. Who was actually the sound man for my first band back in the mid '70s, and more than a sound man, he was a real kind of spiritual inspiration to me as well, and especially as now in life. And but he's always thrown a comment out there, and I always appreciate it. So thanks again, and God bless you all, and see you next week. Bye. Waiting for the